Hey, it's going on a little early day. Today is Tuesday, April 16th. The other day I had to cut things short. I got interrupted. All of a sudden my kids came home. I wasn't expecting them to be here. So once they get here, the stream pretty much has to stop. So I kind of stopped midstream. I was going to talk about a few stocks. I'll do that now. Um, some of them were the marijuana stocks, Tilray, New Age Beverages, and also Canopy Growth. Um, the investor enthusiasm in these stocks have, other than New Age Beverages, has seen a huge decrease in. I don't know if it's just the enthusiasm or if there's actually some material um, or actually tangible news that's out there or events that have happened. But Tilray is, I don't know what it's doing today, but Tilray closed yesterday under $50. That was a stock that flew all the way up to 300 and some not too long ago here. And then Canopy has fallen significantly as well. New Age Beverages did have a good day last week because they signed a deal with Walmart. If you've ever seen those Bob Marley drinks, that is the New Age Beverages company, NBEV. It seems to be an extremely popular stock, especially with retail investors. Retail investors would be someone just like you and me, just somebody who's using their hard-earned money to trade some stocks. An institutional investor is someone who maybe runs a hedge fund or manages money for other people. But as retail investors, it seems to be extremely popular. Um, and I get it. I guess a lot of retail investors are interested in marijuana because maybe they're marijuana users themselves, or its products they would be interested in using. So they or you feel like you should get into this industry before it's too late. And I've talked about that before. Kind of the fear of missing out. Um, I don't think you should ever have that. Yeah, there's a chance that these things could take off again, but the downside risk, none of these companies are even close to being profitable, not even close. If you look at any of their income statements, and I would be willing to bet that none of them ever will be. They'll always just be kind of a hype stock, when we're time to vote, we're voting on marijuana laws. There might be some hype there and you might get some pops every now and then, 10, 15% move to the upside. But overall, I just don't think it's going to be as popular as people think. Um, it's not like you can't get high by drinking these Bob Marley drinks. It's just CBD is all it's called. It's not actually, it's not something that actually gets you high as far as I'm aware. So they don't. I've seen them in stores. I have. It's a little legitimate product. I've honestly never seen anyone drinking one. I'm not a big fan of teas or any type of energy drinks or those things. So I don't know what they taste like or anything like that. But even with New Age Beverages, I think the money has been made in that stock. I think if you got in when it was under $1, cheers to you. I mean that's awesome. You're way ahead of the rest of us. But if you're looking at getting in New Age Beverages now, that's a pretty risky proposition after the stock is already up 500-600%. If you look back at the chart, it's had a huge run over the last couple of years. And I've said this in many of my videos before, is I'm extremely cautious about getting into a stock when it's at its highs, or near its highs. It has dropped a little bit from its all-time highs, but it's still, if you look back at the life of the stock, it's pretty high right now. I just maybe a small position if you really think it's going to be a great product and it's going to take off. Maybe a small position. I just wouldn't put much money into New Age Beverages. Um, like I said, unless they get bought out, that's probably their best hope. Um, And maybe they do. Maybe Coca-Cola buys them. I don't know, but it's hard to buy a stock um, just hoping that they're going to get bought out. It does happen, but if that's your only reason for buying a stock, I don't think that's enough to say, yeah, I'm going to buy this stock because I think it's going to get bought out. You could be sitting there holding the bag, for a long time, and it might never happen. And then while you're waiting, the value just starts going down and down and down. And there could be another company with a similar product that comes along, and steals all their business, or new age beverages could run into some financial trouble. As I said, they are not profitable, and I'm sure that they never will be. So I would just stay away from that one. Um, I could be wrong. Maybe we'll watch it and maybe it'll double, triple again here. This year. It's possible, but it's possible with any stock. So I just don't see that happening. Not after the run it's already had over the last couple of years. Um, Maybe a Tilray or Canopy Growth at this point, they've fallen so much that maybe there's some upside there, but I think there's still a lot of risk involved in those stocks, even at this price. Even Tilray being under $50, I think there's still a lot of risk there. Anytime you've got um, a company that's unprofitable in an industry that's unpredictable, it's that's a sometimes that's a recipe for disaster. These companies, they could literally go bankrupt. It kind of sounds crazy to say, but it's possible. A company like Tilray or Canopy Growth, they could go under. They really could. So you're trying to ride this marijuana wave. I would be pretty careful, pretty careful. So, what else? So yeah, Clovis. We talked about watching my videos, Clovis Oncology. That they were down what 12, 13% yesterday. I've talked about how big of a scam that company is, and the CEO is a huge scam artist. If you do a search online, you'll find that him and somebody else in the company were fined a lot of money. It's like $20 million or something like that because they scammed investors, they scammed cancer patients. And I've said this before. I don't know how our justice system works, where a person like that is still the CEO of this company, or how a company like that is still operating. Just yesterday, it was yesterday. Like I said, it was down 13%, and because they had a trial or the bladder cancer drug that they just pulled because they found out it didn't work. Just like everything else they have nothing that works. All it does is cause these major side effects to these patients. And what happened, if you haven't watched my other videos, watch it. I've got a video labeled Clovis Oncology Stock Scam. If you have time, go watch that one. I kind of go into more detail about everything that happened with that company over the last couple of years, how the CEO absolutely just scammed everybody. He was found guilty. This is not a theory or an opinion. He was found guilty of scamming investors and patients. He lied about the efficacy of this drug while giving it to patients, and then that caused the stock to go up. And while the stock was going up, guess what? He was selling his shares after the stock went up on this news. He lied about the efficacy of the drug, which caused the stock to pop. And then what does he do? He sells his stock because he knows that it's a complete lie. And then after he gets found out, he gets fined. Stock tanks. It's still tanking. But yet he's still running the company. He's still stealing investor money. I'm sure he's still paying himself a hefty salary. And from what? A scam. It's giving patients toxic drugs, stealing money from investors who aren't aware of what's going on. So you need to spread the word too. Not only stay away from it, just spread the word. There's people like this need to be in jail. They really do. We need to get this guy out of his comfy little office, and actually teach him a lesson. Um, monetary fines sometimes just don't do it, especially a guy like that where he's got a publicly traded company that he's running. He can just sell some stock and get that money right back. So it's just watch the video, the Clovis Oncology stock scam. You can also find resources online from the SEC about the fines that company has accrued. I see the Nasdaq hit 8,000 today. 8,000 we hit today. I believe maybe it was over. I think it was maybe over 8,000 once before, but not. It didn't get much over 8,000. So we're nearing all-time highs right now for the Nasdaq. So okay, I'm going to try to do another video after the market closes on the news for today. But I wanted to just kind of continue where I had to leave off the other day. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. If you like videos, please subscribe. Thank you.